What is in a name? Where do names originate from? How does a name create a sense of place, and what significance do names hold to us? It is these questions that have prompted us to begin to explore the areas we now live in, Cathays and Roath in Cardiff, and attempt to find an answer. Cathays and Roath are both occupied predominantly by students and consist largely of terraced housing of a Victorian influence. They are both densely populated areas located on the border of Cardiff city centre.
The name Cathays is said to be made up of two words, cad and hays. Cad being Welsh for the word battle, and hays translating to open area. Apart from the cemetery, which was opened in 1859, Cathays was almost entirely rural farmland when it became a suburb of Cardiff in 1875. At that time, there were just a few streets leading off Woodville Road and Cathays Terrace. During the next 25 years, the urbanisation of Cathays was virtually completed, with many former farms being reduced to mere road names, such as Allens Bank and Weedle Road. Cathays was originally established as a new and clean overflow area from Bute Town for those who worked at Cardiff Docks.
Situated next to Cathays is the area of Roath. It is thought that the name Roath originates from the Gaelic Irish term rath, meaning fort. In Norman times, Robert Fitzhammond, a warrior lord, established his base in Cardiff Castle. He used the area of Roath as a farm to feed the huge numbers of workers for his household. From the 12th and 13th centuries, Roath was a village, and it wasn't until housing development started in the 19th century that Roath moved away from its rural beginnings. History plays a significant role in the naming of our streets and roads, and the influence of a powerful family in an area can be visible to this day. Many examples of this can be found around the areas of Cathays and Roath.
During the 16th century, King Edward VI gave the manors of Glenrhondda, St Geneth and Miskin to William Herbert, who was the first Earl of Pembrokeshire. This land was then passed down the line through generations in their marriages until it came to the possession of Charlotte Jane and John Stewart, who was later titled the first Marquis of Bute. This history is preserved around Cardiff in reminders of the family through road names such as Dumfries Place, Sophia Street, Sophia Gardens and Mount Stuart Square. The names of the three manors originally given by King Edward VI have also been remembered in the area of Cathays, where an arrangement of three roads adopting these names can be seen today.
In 1836, Charles Croft Williams inherited Roath Court and also purchased a large amount of land around what is now known as Albany Road and Richmond Road. He was an active public figure, having been an alderman and mayor several times. To this day, there are links to Charles Croft Williams visible in Roath via street names, in particular Croft Square. During the 18th century, Michael Richard purchased land in Cardiff, which was then passed down through his family until it reached Edward Priest Richards. His daughter and heiress, Harriet Diana Arabella, married the chief of Clan Chatton, part of the Mackintosh family, and much of the Roath area then formed part of the Mackintosh estate. Street names such as Mackintosh Place, Inverness Place, Arran Street, Argyle Street and Caposh Street continue to keep the past Scottish connections alive today. A succession of streets named Arabella Street, Harriet Street and Diana Street are evidently named after the Richards heiress, and Richard Street, located in Roath, has obvious connections to the family. From these examples, it is clear that history plays a significant part in the naming of streets, roads and places in and around Cardiff. However, there are other themes that play a role in the creation of names. Location is another important theme which has influence on names. This is because traditionally many roads were named according to the destination in which they led. Cathays Terrace, for example, is so titled because it is a main road leading through the centre of Cathays. Newport Road provides further evidence of this, in a wider context being a main link road between the cities of Cardiff and Newport, again highlighting the importance of destination within a road name. This helps create a sense of place and direction.
Within Cathays, a number of roads take their names from surrounding towns and villages located outside of Cardiff. Landoxt, Lantriston and Lantwit are all examples of this, being small settlements situated within the Vale of Glamorgan. A possible reason for this is to maintain a link between the capital city of Cardiff and its surrounding constituency, this providing the streets with relevant and significant names.
Street names can give influence to the naming of other provisions and services along and in the area surrounding them. This helps people to locate these establishments by association with their given names. In the Cathays area, there are many examples of public houses having taken the names of the roads upon which they lie, including the Mackintosh, Crewis Pub and the Woodville Pub.
As students living in Cardiff, the areas of Cathays and Roath in particular hold a great importance to us as part of our daily routines. Being without a car means much time is spent on foot, travelling to lectures, friends' houses, shops and pubs. This means our familiarity with these particular wards is enhanced by our specific needs and habits. Streets therefore become associated with those of our peers that reside on them, and their significance is heightened because of this. For these reasons, the particular names given to streets and roads hold an importance to us, not necessarily for their historic significance or heritage, but because of their role in our day-to-day lives.
To summarise, the naming of streets can be influenced by a number of different themes, including historical references, geographical location, orientation, and existing landmarks and places. With our drift of Cathays and Roath, we hope to have highlighted the role of street names, where they originate from, and the significance that they hold for us, as well as answering the question, what is in a name?